Forage Facts, brought to you by DeltAg.
When you talk about fertilizer, are we talking about nitrogen? Or are we talking about phosphate and potash? Or are we talking about all three? People ask about fertilizer all the time, and my question is, which fertilizer? Fertilizer is not fertilizer. The thing to realize is you have to first decide what is the purpose of this food plot. And I think that is so critical. Are we growing this food plot to draw deer out of the woods so we can harvest them? If that's what you're doing, and the only reason that you want to grow them is to pull them out of the woods, then you need some lush, green, palatable crop that those deer like to eat. They'll come out and eat. So what's the primary fertilizer that you need? You need nitrogen. If you're planting a cereal grain, regardless of your soil test, you got to have nitrogen. People said, well, how much nitrogen do you put out? What we do here is we buy 50-pound bags of oats. We put 2 bags of oats to every acre that we plant. With that, we put 2 bags of fertilizer. It's 50 pounds of urea. Urea is 46% nitrogen. So 100 pounds is 46 units. So we're putting 46 units, which there's 23 units in every bag, okay? So we're putting 2 bags of fertilizer, 46 units of nitrogen with 100 pounds of oats per acre. That's what we do here. We don't worry so much about the P and K, but that's because we pull soil samples every other year. We know what our P and K levels are. We use soil solution every year, year in and year out on all of these soils. Our P and K levels are up. Our pH is 6.2 or 6.3. We got our ground in good shape. We don't have to focus so much on the P and K. Now, are we going to grow these food plots to help with the nutrition of the deer or the turkeys, to help them to generate more protein, to have healthier babies, to have healthier body weight, to have a bigger mass on their antlers? If that's the case, we got to go back and say, okay, what does the soil test tell us? How much phosphate and potash do we need to put out? And are we going to grow this crop all the way through the development of seed? We need a full dose of not only nitrogen, but phosphorus and potash. Are we growing a lagoon? If we're only growing a lagoon, we need to focus on phosphate and potash. I don't know, there are a lot of different things you can do with fertilizer.